Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Radiatul Aslamiyah. Okay, today I will explain about the teaching with video. Okay, teaching with video is the commonly way or the commonly types of teaching that has been occur in the several times. So it is a very common for us to teaching with video. And today there are four components that I will explain that relate with the teaching with video. The first component is using video in language learning. The second one is common video teaching techniques. And the third is video watching activity. And the last one is video making activities. Okay, let's move to the first component. The first component, or we can say A, using video in language learning. In this component, there are 6 points. The first point is why use video. The second one is video problems, and the third is video types. The fourth is whole lesson video, and the fifth is video as part of a lesson, and the last one is self-access video. Okay, I will explain it for you. Using video in language learning. The use of a video type has been common feature in the language teaching for many years. The first reason is saying language in use. One of the main advantage of the video is that student do not just hear the language, but in the other hand, they can see the language. What I mean. And the second reason is cross-cultural awareness. Video uniquely allows students a look at situations far beyond their classroom, so they can look the situation far beyond their classroom. Okay, the next reason is the power of creation. It means that when a student use video camera themselves, they are given the potential to create something memorable and enjoyable. So it's make a student more creative, and it increases the power of creation for them. And the next reason is motivation. For all the reasons so far mentioned, most students saw an increased level of interest when they have a chance to see language in use as well as hear it. So in this reason, motivation with use of video, it can increase student motivation. Next point, video problem. Even teaching with video has occurred in the several times, but there are several problems that relate with the video. What I mean is relate with teaching with video. The first problem is the nothing new syndrome. It means that if we use the video, there is nothing new. What I mean is it is a very monotone, so there is new thing in there. And the second problem is poor quality type, and this it is related with the device, and sometimes the teacher has not the device or the good device for their teaching activity. And the next problem is poor viewing conditions. It means that sometimes in a class, the device is related with the device and the conditions. For example, is the monitor is too small for the all of people on the class. It is make a for viewing condition. And the next problem is stop and start. Stop and start means that some students become frustrated when teachers constantly stop and start the video, only showing little bits at a time. So when in the classroom, in the teaching learning process, the teacher stop and start the video again and again, it makes the student frustrated. And the next problem is the length of extract and finger and thumbs. Okay, moves to the next point, video types. There are several video types. For example, is off-air programs, real world video, language learning video. Okay, the next point is wall listen video. In this wall listen video, it means that where there are no copyright restrictions, teacher can record programs of air and base a whole class sequence around them. Yeah, it is the meaning of wall listen video. Okay, move to the next point. Video as part of a lesson. When we use a video, there are several things, or there are several parts that makes the video as a part of a lesson. Okay, the first is topic. The second one is language, and the last is relaxation. It is the part of lesson. The next point, or the last point in a component, is self-access video. In self-access video, the student can access video everywhere. It is not only in the class, but they can access video everywhere. So it will help the teacher, because the student will have many access and search. The second component, or we can say the B components, is common video teaching techniques. There are two techniques. The first point, or the first technique, is viewing techniques, and listening and mixed techniques. So I will explain it for us. The first technique, viewing techniques. In this viewing techniques, there are several techniques. The first is fast forward, silent viewing for language, silent viewing for music, and freeze frame, partial viewing. So it is the technique in viewing techniques. And let's move to another technique. The second technique is listening and mixed techniques. In listening and mixed technique, there are several techniques. The first one is pictureless listening for language. The second one, pictureless listening for music, and pictureless listening sound effects. And the last one is picture or speech. So it is the techniques in listening and mixed techniques. Okay, let's move to the third component, or we can say T components. In T component, there are video watching activity, and there are several points. The first point is general comprehension. The second one is working with aspect of language. And the last one is video as springboard to creativity. Here I want to answer for us. The first point is general comprehensions. There are following activities that can be designed to help students watch a video in order to understand the gist of it and then look back again for detail. And the second point is working with aspect of language. The activities in this section show language work unique to the medium of video. The several example of the activity is the comparing the language. It is the example. And the third point is video as a springboard to creativity. The activity in this section show how a video excerpt can be used to spark student creativity by encouraging interpretation, provoking talks, and asking for language use. And now we move to the last component, or we can say the components. In the component, or we can say the four components, there are video making activity. There are several points in this component. The first one is video simulations. The second is creativity ideas and working with language. And the next is getting everyone involved and what to do with videos. And the last one is video and the teacher. Here I want to explain for us about the video making activity. So in this component, the activity in this section suggests way in which the camera can become a central learning aid, as a result of which students work cooperatively together using a wide variety of language, both in the process and the product of video making. And the first point is video simulation. Video can enhance simulation not only because it can provide a very telling feedback when students can watch themselves and evaluate their performance, but also because the presence of a video camera helps to make media simulations, such as, for example, is TV program more realistic. And the second component is creative idea. The following activity expect the student to use their imaginations and creativity to bring a fresh dimension of their learning. So in this creative idea, the student can use their creative idea or the imagination of their so it can make new, or we can say makes fresh in their learning. The third point is working with language. Working with language. In this working with language, the teacher can ask students to make video with a focus on particular language point. So if they focus in the several or the particular language point, they will working with language directly. Okay. And the next point is getting everyone involved. Because filming usually involves one camera operator and may be confined to one narrator and one overall director, there is a danger that some students may get left out the video making process. However, there are ways of avoiding this danger. The first one is the group. If more than one video camera is available, we can divide a class into groups. That way each member of group has a function. The second one is process. We can ensure participants in the decision making process by insisting that no roles, such as actor, camera operator, or director, are chosen until the last moment. The next is assigning roles. We can assign a number of different roles in real film crew. Okay, moves to the next point. What to do with the videos. One of the main benefits of video making for students is the chance to display what they have done and get feedback on it from the classmate and the teacher. And these goals can be achieved in a number of ways. The second way is class feedback. When students show their videos to the rest of the class, there are a number of ways in which just a classmate can read. The second way is teacher feedbacks. One of the ways in which we can be sure that the video making is a learning process is by responding to the student working with the same care that we give to the written work. So the next is video installation. We can organize a video day in which all of the students' video are shown in exhibition. And the last way is individual and library copies. If we have copy facility, we can make copies of our student work. Let's move to the last point. So the last point is video and the teacher. We cannot leave the topic of video without mentioning the invaluable contribution that it can make to teacher development. It is. Okay, thank you. It is a little bit explanation about the teaching with video, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.